Hi, everyone. This is Mrs. Hasenauer, and I would like to welcome you to MAT 1033 online. So we're going to just do a little orientation to our shell and how to do the course. So this is your home page in Canvas. When you first log in, this is what you should see. If you scroll down, have a navigation tip here. You can navigate here, or usually people just navigate from the sidebar. The modules is the best one to navigate with, unless you're just picking one out. And so that's movement through the course. Let's go ahead and have a quick look at your syllabus. Take a second for it to come up, and you will say, okay, you've read it. This is just a description of the topics that we cover. Mostly it's between an Algebra 1 and an Algebra 2, this course. Some information, how to find me. My office is on the Mueller campus in Vero Beach, D137. This is my phone number. The very best way to find me is email, because I can get to that from anywhere. I cannot get to the phone unless I'm sitting in there. So email is the best, and I do respond. I will have some office hours later once we get the schedule up and rolling. Okay. I have some face-to-face classes on, usually I'm tied up, Monday and Wednesdays, I'm going to be tied up until 12 o'clock in the classroom. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm tied up more because I have 3 classes. But I'm in class from 9 to 12, and then I have class again at 4. In between, I would be in here. Okay, but I'll list office hours for you. Next, you have your learning outcomes. These are the things you're supposed to make sure we learn in the course. The general learning outcome is that we want you to demonstrate mathematical reasoning in problem solving. For your materials for the course, you will have note templates that you can download and videos that you will watch, and you will take the notes. And then the practice is built in My Open Math. So that is our software. You don't have to pay anything for it. And you can print the note templates. If you don't have a good printer, I would download them and maybe go to Staples or something to print them. If you work on a tablet where you write things, you could also get the digital version. Right. A college course, rule of thumb is 3 hours of work for every hour in class, for every credit hour. In an online class, you're not coming to class, but you have to still account for that time, which would be, you will do it by watching your videos and taking your notes. That would be like your in-class time. And then your practice, it will take about 9 hours a week. And you also want some review time before you do a test. For the materials that you need, I would say to get a good scientific calculator. The Texas Instruments are the ones that I use, the TIs that I show up. You don't need a graphing calculator in this class. Just get a good scientific calculator. Any of the TIs are good. If you have a graphing calculator, I don't prohibit the use of them. You can use it, but they're just expensive. You don't really need one for this course. All right. Because you are online and you will have to test online, you will need a webcam and a microphone to take your tests. Also, your tests have to be on a a laptop or a PC. They cannot be done through an iPad, so make sure you have availability for that. And you will need to make sure that you have Google Chrome as your browser for the testing. Right. So this next piece is usually important to students. This is what makes up your grade. I do use a basic 10-point scale. And so we have tests. Tests are the biggest part of your course as far as weight. Because we are an accredited institution, we have to make sure you do proctored assessments so that we stay accredited by SACS. And that way, if you go somewhere else, you have a degree from here and you go to another institution, they are going to accept your credentials from here. So it's important that we stay accredited, and that is why your tests and your final make up the most of your weight of your grade. The homework and quizzes, those are your practice. Those are learning materials, right? So you will have homework to do. You're allowed to do the homework over any problem over and over, and you could get 100% out of that category. The quizzes, they require you to redo the whole thing, but you are allowed to redo them, and they're not as long as the homework assignments. The PDF upload assignment, you will just have to do this one time. This is a skill that you will need every time you take a test. You're required to write out your work on paper, scan it, and upload it. And it needs to be in a certain format. And so when you go to this assignment, which you'll do in the first week, it tells you, and it offers some free apps. Genius Scan, Little Scanner, those are just two. But you want to make sure that you can scan into one PDF document, multiple pages. So if you have 4 pages that you've written out for your tests, you only need to upload one file. Because I review those, I look at those, I review every test you take, and I look at your work from it. So sometimes your score will go up. If you don't turn any work in, your score will go down. So you have to turn in the work for your test. It is a requirement. And you need to do it in this format. This is not a hard assignment, and it's a skill you can use in life. Lots of times you need copies of receipts or a copy of a page. And if you can scan it and get a PDF document, anybody can open a PDF document. That's why we ask for that format, not a JPEG. I don't want pictures. So there'll be a little blurb about that when you're ready to do that assignment. So more information for you. All right, this is just about your homework and quizzes. At the end of the term, I will drop 2 homeworks and 2 quizzes automatically. This is about your PDF upload assignment. It is 4% of your grade. Easy way to get 100 going in that part. All right, so you'll have 4 tests in your finals. They will be proctored by HonorLock. You'll need to show work for every problem. And then you will need to scan that work and upload it. You have to number the problems so I can find them and scan it vertically. It's real important when you take your test that you have not been doing your work on an app. You cannot have a phone or any extra devices in your area. We do not allow the use of any AI for your tests. Okay, your tests have to be show me what you know, not what Photomath can do, right? So no apps for your tests. For your homework, I leave it open. So I give a suggested schedule. I will leave it open. I don't put the deadlines in because I really don't like you to get a penalty. I know with online that sometimes you work. Sometimes I have students that are in nursing or in firefighter, and they work, 12-hour shifts or longer, and they might need to have a different day. and that would be fine. So you can always slide your assignments, your homework, and quizzes, you can slide those slightly on the schedule. Tests, you will have a block of time, and so you will need to stay in that block for your tests. We have some attendance assignments at the beginning of the course. We are required by the government to send in a report, and if we don't get any financial aid to the college. So that's important for a lot of students. So we have to show that online students have attended. So I have 4 things that you have to do for this course. One will be a self-introduction post to the discussion board, a Start Here quiz, a diagnostic in my open math. Don't be scared of that. And that one does not have to go through HonorLock. You will just do that one on your own. Do the best you can and don't stress over it. Okay, do the best you can. It just shows us the starting point, where you're coming at, where your level is when you come into the course. Right, and then I like your PDF assignment in with these 2. That is probably the 4th one, and I don't see that I wrote it, but anyway, you have 4 things to do. All right, and please do your own work. No cell phones or notes allowed during tests. Also, if you cover the camera or you turn off the screen share, that will invalidate the test and you get a 0. So make sure that you don't do any of those things. All right. The course will close on December 7th. And one thing with our schedule, that Thanksgiving break is so close to the end. If anyone wants to finish up and have their final exam before then so that you don't just come back after a week off and hit the final, I have no problem with that. I always allow you to take tests early. I don't have anything up right now, but as soon as I get them up, you are allowed to take them, and that you will find them under HonorLock on the left toolbar. All right, that is your syllabus. There's one thing down here. You can look at these extra help. There's videos, your note templates. I did give you the note templates that go with Professor Laney instead of mine. Hers matched the software a little bit better, so that is why I gave you her videos instead of mine. So you'll see her on there if you're used to me already. And you can always get to my videos too if you ever want more. They are available. You can find them in YouTube. And also, I think I have a link to my college website. Right. One thing down here, they put this in automatically, and if you have a question on anything in the course, you know, and you've looked at your syllabus, I don't want you to feel like you have to search a ton. You know, yes, check your syllabus, check your schedule of activities, and then email me and ask. It is okay to email me and ask. It's okay to email anytime. I won't hear it if it rings at 2 o'clock in the morning. I will see it the next day. So email me anytime. I don't want students to feel like they can't email me or ask questions, because you certainly can. I want you to. All right. Let's go out of syllabus, and we'll start through our course. You will go to modules. Right, and this is just stuff about Canvas in this top one, and you can look at that on your own, right? And this next module, Welcome Your Journey Begins Here. This has most of those activities that you needed to do, right? And it says complete all items. So your course overview, there's not really anything to do in there. It will just be a little blurb, tells you about the course. Does talk about time management, which is critical for working online. You have to have a set time make sure you're allowing time to watch the videos, take your notes, then you go to the homework. Don't try to take a shortcut, right? So this is about time management. I'm going to go back to modules. Sometimes you can click this and go through the pages and it works nice. If you ever get stuck, just go back to modules. All right. Next thing coming up is your schedule of activities. And here we go. I would probably print one of those out or at least save it to your desktop. Right. So, day one, I just left some time there to do all your activities, getting used to Canvas. You can go ahead and start some work if you want. Okay, let's talk about these dates and how I have it laid out a little bit. Right, on the left, the second column, these are suggested dates. Right, just kind of try to stay in that time frame. Right, so let's just pick one. Say 8/25, August 25th. I have down that you should be working on inequalities, which is Mod 1 Homework 2. And so that would mean go there, watch the video, take your notes, do that homework. If you can't do it that day, you have work all day, but you're off the next day, it's okay to slide it and do it the next day. It's okay to do it a day early. You just want to make sure by the time you get down here to the test, I tried to put those in blue. When you get there, you want all of this work completed, right? And those dates are set. So for your test, you need to do it between 9/11 and 9/14. And I am okay. If somebody's ready early, you can do it early. Okay. But your deadline on that one, you have a set deadline. See, over here, I put set deadlines. I don't have any set deadlines for that homework. But you need to understand it should all be done before you take a test. Right? I do have a set deadline for the test and for the review. We have reviews in the software. I think they're called practice tests. And I give bonus points that I actually add to your test score if you do those reviews. It's a bribe to get you to review. But it's nice if you get 90 or higher, I give you 5 points added to your test. That's half a letter grade. That's kind of nice, but it will help you prepare for the test also. Right, so your review will always be due when your test is due. All right, so there is test 1. This RSI thing just means that this will be a time when I will give you some feedback. After I get your tests, it takes me usually a day or two. It could be up to a week, depending on how many I'm getting, because I have 3 online classes. But I review everyone, and sometimes I will make comments there, but you will at least get a score. I put your grade for your test in manually. Also, I like to add any points for review to your test. So those scores will go in manually, and a lot of times I will give you comments in the comment box. So that's what RSI is. It's some feedback. So that you're not just working with a machine. There is a person here behind it that will respond to you. All right. So then you are into the test 2 material. There's our range for it. So it works the same. But remember, you can slide the dates on the left, but the dates on the right are fixed, and you need all the homework that's above that completed before the test. Right. So that is how the schedule works, and all work has to be finished by December the 7th. That's when I'm going to turn the shell off with my Open Math. So all your work has to be turned in by that date. All right, so that is your schedule. Let's go back to modules and see what else we need to look at there. All right, this is just info about me, my office, and a little blurb about me. So I've been teaching math a long time. I love math. That's my favorite. Math and science. I always liked science too. And I have a yellow lab named Lucy. And I like to go to the beach. All right, so those are things about me. And if I didn't say it at the beginning, it is fine to call me Mrs. H. A lot of people have difficulty with this. You can say it as has an hour, and that's an easy way to remember how to say it. All right, this is contact information. This is a website where you can get to all of my videos. If you're not finding what you want in the Canvas shell, I have a lot of videos. You're welcome to go there and look. All right. So I'm just going to go back through modules. All right, student introduction. This is one of your 4 activities you need to do. It's just a little post. Write a little blurb about yourself. I think I put down 2 to 3 sentences. You just click on it. All right, introduce yourself to the class. Write 2 to 3 sentences, including the following. You can write more if you want more. Okay, I didn't want it to be overwhelming. You can respond to people if you want. I do not require that you respond to people. I know a lot of discussion posts they do, so I don't. Do what you're comfortable with there. Okay, this Start Career quiz, this is about Canvas. It's 10 questions. They're not a big deal. You just need to do it. If you don't get a 70 or 7 points here, you are allowed to do it over as much as you need to. Okay. This is a discussion board, and I tried to make sure that I did subscribe to those so I would see your feedback. I will double check that. Honestly, email is better if you're just trying to get in touch with me, especially if it's anything private. If it's a homework question or something, you guys are welcome to chat with each other. If you want to go on that question discussion board, please do. And I will try to answer anything there, but that is not going to be your fastest way to get an answer. If I don't see them, then I don't always know. Also, something that came up was students would respond when we made a comment like to a test or something, and they respond down below that. Teachers don't know that you did that. And so if they don't respond back, it's because they probably didn't see it. There's nothing that flags us from the system that tells us. So if you have questions or something, send us an email. That's the best way to make sure we get it. And we're good. We try to answer. Okay. All right. You guys are not allowed to use the assessment center, right? The online students are not. So I'm not sure why that's there. You're going to have a new video right here, which I would like you to watch. It's the video I'm making right now. So that's an old one, but you're going to get a new one there. Okay. All right. This just tells about the recommended calculator, right? TI-30, XIIS. There's other TIs that in that range that are good. Also, that one I think is a solar. Okay. The tutoring centers. There's one on each campus, and this I think is just a link to them, and you can get their hours for either campus, and even some online tutoring. So please take advantage. If you need some help and you're taking online just because you can't make it during regular hours, you might be able to make it to the tutoring center. You really don't need this textbook. Honestly, I would not even open it. It's not going to match exactly to your work. I would not bother with it. Okay. All right, module 0. So at this point, You are worked through Welcome, Your Journey Begins Here. You have done 2 of your 4 activities. Plus also you've looked at your schedule and you should have looked at the syllabus. Right? And then down here, here's your PDF assignment. And when you click on that, it should have some directions there. It does. Excellent. They didn't go away. And here's 2 choices. I personally use Genius Scan. Goes on your phone, free app, easy, and you just hold it over. I will say don't push it to make it click yourself. Let it put an orange rectangle around your document and let it click, and that way it will move to the second page automatically. And this is Tiny Scanner. So you can choose with those. Then you have to email it to yourself, save it as a document, and that's what you will load. You will upload it here, your document. This is my rubric for grading. It has to be a PDF file. All right, that is choice number 1. And you need 2 pages in 1 file. That is the rest of the points. So it's not a big deal. What I have for you guys to do on there is right here. Sorry, that's very tiny. I should make that bigger. In this document, it has 2 math problems. There they are. I want you to write them on 2 separate sheets of paper. You can do front and back. I'm not trying to make you waste paper, except I want to see that you can scan 2 pages. Right? That's why I want 2 separate pages. Don't type it on here. I need your handwriting, because when you take a test, you're not going to have time to type out the steps. Remember, you're learning this skill to be able to show your work for a test, for an online class. All right, let's see if I can close this and not lose where I am. Okay, so we were in modules. That is your 3rd part of your beginning assignment. And then the diagnostic exam will be the next one, and this will open up your software. I put this one up here because I don't count this one as a grade. You can go into this, especially if you've never used any software before, any math software. And this opens your program. There's 9 questions in there. Basically, it's about how to enter things in the software. This one, I think, is about rounding. You've got this decimal. You want to round it to at least 3 decimal places, right? That means 3 digits after the decimal. You look at the next one. A 4 would drop off. 5 or higher would push this 3 up. So we're going to enter 7.123. And then you click submit. There you go. And you continue. Some of these are a little, they take a little more work. I would tend to use, let's do one more. We'll do this one. I would tend to use the note template. They want to just make sure you can enter this. They're not asking you anything else about it. Click in the box and start with the fraction button to get it in the right form. All right, now on the top, you need to do a square root. This one is your regular square root. Type in your 5. Right, then you have to get to the bottom. You can use the down arrow on your keyboard, or you can use your mouse and click there. And I just clicked, right? Click to the end, make sure it looks like that one. You're just entering, okay? And now it's going to mark me wrong on 3/4 of this one because I didn't do them all. All right, but that's what this little introduction is. I just don't like people to stress on that, but it does get you used to the software. Right. So, and then your diagnostic exam, take that, don't stress over it, just do the best you can. You don't have to upload any work for the diagnostic. Do the best you can, okay? It does not count as a grade. It is just an attendance assignment. We need the measure, but it does not count against you as your grade, so don't stress over it. All right, now the meat of the course. how you're going to take the course. All right. The first thing we have here, this is Test 1 Notes, Modules 1 and 2. And this is where you're going to download your note templates to take notes. If you don't have a printer, you are allowed to take the notes on paper, just regular notebook paper, but you'll need to scan them and upload it. It's good if you can print them. Okay, and this is a PDF version. This is going to be about 40 pages, right? Because this is Module 1 and 2. I'll just open it so you can see 40 pages. All right, and it leaves space for you to work. Just makes it kind of nice, especially with the graphing. It's nice if you can print these and not have to draw it yourself, that kind of thing. All right, so this is after you've done your 4 exercises to start. This is how you're going to start your course. You need to get your note templates or plan to write your notes on paper in a notebook that you can scan. If you have a digital device like an iPad or a tablet, you can use this Word version and you can take them right on there and save it and submit that. Okay. All right. Once you get those downloaded, you're going to click on this link right below, videos going over the notes. And you would just start with the Mod 1 Homework 1 Notes. Okay. And then this is one problem in the homework that students had trouble with. So it's a short video. This one is like an hour long, hour and 26 minutes. That's a pretty long video. But so it's very detailed. Going through the notes, it is on YouTube. So you should have closed caption and you have the ability to stop it, run it forward, all those kind of things. Okay. All right. So this will match Mod 1 Homework 1. And let me go back. Oh, I'm on a different screen. Okay. Modules. All right. So if you've already downloaded your note templates, so figure out what you're going to do about those, because you have to scan them and upload them at the end and show that you've taken your notes. Right? This is the videos going over them. You don't want to watch that whole thing because it has all the videos for the whole thing. You know, keep your schedule in mind, Mod 1, Homework 1. So you really just want the first video and maybe that one right after it that goes over one problem. Okay. So this is where you'll go back to each time. You'll watch your video, take your notes, then you're going to go down here. This is your homework, Mod 1 Homework 1. You'll click it. It's in the software, and you don't have to register anything. When you click in there, you're in. So it has 25 questions, so now you're working in the software. You don't turn this part in, the writing of the work, but you would need to write these on paper. I mean, I'm not going to do that in my head. I'm going to subtract the 6 from both sides, divide by -7, but you should show a step or two. Okay. And then this will move you through. So just making sure equations are okay. At the end, I think it has equations with fractions. There's some where you have to clear the fraction. All those are in the videos. A word problem, consecutive integers, clearing decimals, or you're allowed a calculator so you can take the decimals out. Do not plan to use your cell phone for a calculator because you can't have it around on a test day. Okay. This will get you to a special kind of equation where your variables cancel. I'm just kind of showing you the different kinds of problems. There's a few percent problems in here. So this first one just has a bunch. It's equations and some applications of equations in there. And then a couple of formula problems at the end. All right. So after you finish a homework, you feel good about it, then you would be ready to go back to your note templates, which you've printed already, or you're placing your notebook where you're going to take them, and you would be ready to go back to the next video. So that's how it works. When you finish module 1 and 2 and you're ready to take your test, you are going to scan all those notes that you've taken and you're going to upload right here. Right, and you can see each module will work the same. So module 1 and module 2 are both on the same test. Module 2 has a lot more stuff in it. It has some graphing and it has polynomials, which you've probably done some FOIL before, that kind of thing. And then you will get ready for your test. So 2 modules. When you get ready for your test, here's a practice. And then you will do your test. It's due by September 14th. And right below is where you will scan and upload your test work. So this is from the test itself. And your test is going to run through HonorLock. You'll click HonorLock first. And then you'll go, they will have to approve your ID. You'll have to do a room scan, show them your desk, that you have no phone in the area. And then you'll have to go find your test, which is here. All right. Once you're done with that, you'll be ready to start the next module. So here, it's notes to download again. Download and print, or run them over to Staples. If you're on a campus, the tutoring centers allow you to print 10 pages. So that wouldn't print your whole packet, but 10 pages free. That's a nice thing to know. Like if you're writing a paper or something and your printer stops working, you can go in there and get something. Okay. All right. So that is how your course works. I have an extra little resource down here at the bottom I just want to show you. Right down here, class recordings from my Open Math Zoom sessions. Sometimes I do this class as a Zoom class, and kids come on and it's live, and in it, I make you watch your videos first and already do your notes, and in class, I only do homework problems. So if you are stuck on a section or something of homework problems, these are actual videos of doing homework problems. Okay. And some of them I might have just one problem. Some of them it's a longer video. You can run it forward or whatever. Remember, it is a live class, so there's no telling what we say in there. Okay. This orientation doesn't really apply to you. You can skip that part. But if you want to see some of them, and here's just some more homework problems, I'll just click on it so you can see. It is also YouTube. All right. And I write them on a sheet.
This is what your homework in my Open Math looks like. And I could have a few problems. I'm going to bypass this first one. That is a nice...
So I skipped that. But you can see I'm writing steps.
Hopefully you have a calculator.
Okay.
And you can help me if I get stuck. All right.
All right. So I will stop that there. So I have gone through your whole course. This is discussions. You were able to get to both of those under modules, but you can also go here. One is your student introduction, and one is the course question and answer. Grades, you'll be able to look here. One thing to remember, and this bothers students sometimes until they realize what's happening, but if you're working in the My Open Math software and say you pause in a homework, which is perfectly fine to do, it's going to send a partial grade over. It will correct when you finish it. So don't stress over that. It will update. If it does not update within 24 hours, let me know. I can go in. I can make it update. Okay. And this shows you your grades. So we are under grades. And we are kind of to the end. So I'm going to stop there. I enjoy my students. Please reach out to me if you have questions or concerns. I am happy to answer any questions. I might have forgotten something to tell you on this video. I'm perfectly happy to answer. Email is the best way and fastest way to contact me. All right. You guys have a great course and a great day.